This bank survived Napoleon. It survived 2 world wars. It survived the Great Depression. And then, somehow, one guy sitting at a desk in Singapore destroyed the entire thing. His name was Nick Leeson. And in 1995, he brought down Barings Bank, one of the oldest banks in Britain. Not by robbing it. Not by hacking it. Not with some master plan to destroy the company. He did it by making bad trades, hiding the losses, and then making even bigger trades to try to fix them. And the craziest part is, for a while, everyone thought he was a genius. Barings Bank was not some random bank either. It was founded in 1762. For over 200 years, it handled money for powerful families, governments, and wealthy clients all over the world. It had been around so long that people probably assumed it was too old, too respected, and too important to just collapse. But that is exactly what happened. In the 1990s, finance was changing fast. Banks were getting into more complicated trades, more global markets, and more risky financial products. So Barings sent Nick Leeson to Singapore to run part of its trading operation. At first, he looked perfect for the job. He was young, confident, and seemed to be making the bank a lot of money. But there was a huge problem. Leeson was not just making trades. He was also helping record and settle those trades. That might not sound like a big deal, but in banking it is a major issue. The person making risky trades is not supposed to be the same person checking the paperwork after. That is like letting a student take a test and then grade it themselves. Officially, Leeson was supposed to be doing low-risk trading, taking advantage of tiny price differences between markets. Small profits, controlled risk, nothing too crazy. At least, that is what London thought. In reality, he started making unauthorized bets with the bank's money. At first, some of those bets worked. The bank saw profits. His bosses were happy. And Leeson started looking like the young star trader making everyone rich. Then the losses started. One bad trade usually does not destroy a bank. The trader loses money, the bank reports it, takes the hit, and moves on. But Leeson did not report it. He hid it. Inside Barings' system, there was an account called 88888. It was supposed to be used for errors, but Leeson turned it into a hiding place. When he lost money, he pushed the loss into that account. So the reports his bosses saw still looked fine. On paper, he was making money. In reality, he was digging a hole. And at first, the hole was small enough that he probably thought he could climb out. That is the scary part. This did not start as some billion-dollar disaster. It started with one loss, then one hidden loss, then one more trade to try to win it back, then another, then another. And each time he lost, the only way out seemed to be taking an even bigger risk. By 1994, the losses were completely out of control. And somehow London still believed he was making money, because the fake version of the story looked better than the real one. Leeson's official account showed profits. The hidden account showed disaster. And only one of those accounts was really being seen. The bank kept sending him more money, not because they thought they were covering losses, but because they thought they were funding a successful trader. The people above him did not fully understand what he was doing, but they understood one thing. He looked profitable. And when someone looks profitable, people stop asking uncomfortable questions. Then came January 1995. A massive earthquake hit Kobe, Japan. The Japanese stock market fell hard, and Leeson had made huge bets connected to that market. Suddenly, the losses exploded. This was no longer something he could hide with accounting tricks. It was too big. But instead of stopping, he kept going. He made even bigger bets, hoping the market would turn around and save him. At that point, he was not really trading anymore. He was gambling with the entire bank. From the outside, Barings still looked normal. The offices were open, employees were going to work. Clients still trusted the name. But underneath all of that, the bank was basically already dead. In February 1995, Nick Leeson ran. Before leaving Singapore, he reportedly left behind a note that said, "I'm sorry." That was it. 2 words for a 233-year-old bank. When the real numbers finally came out, the losses were around £827 million. That was more than Barings could survive. The bank collapsed, and after more than 2 centuries in business, it was sold for £1. A bank that survived wars and financial panics was sold for less than the price of a coffee. Nick Leeson was arrested, sent back to Singapore, and went to prison. And for a lot of people, the lesson was simple. One reckless trader destroyed a bank. But honestly, that is too easy. Yes, Leeson made the trades. Yes, he hid the losses. Yes, he broke the rules. But Barings gave him the perfect setup to do it. They let the same person take the risk and check the risk. They trusted profits they did not fully understand. And they ignored warning signs because the story looked good. The collapse started years before Barings actually died. It started the first time a loss was hidden and nobody caught it. From that moment on, the bank was living in 2 realities. In one, Nick Leeson was a star trader. In the other, he was building a loss so big it would kill the company. Finance is not just about money. It is about trust. And trust is dangerous when nobody is checking it. A bank can survive a bad trade. It can survive a bad year. But it cannot survive a system where the truth has nowhere to go. The money did not disappear first. The truth did.